All right, so CEO happened this past weekend, and spoilers, of course, right? This was the grand finals. Atif versus Kisuke. It was a really good top eight. If you have the chance to watch it, I would recommend it. But before we get into all the stuff that happened in the tournament, top eight, right? These are all the characters that were in top eight for that you got to see. We got to see some Claudio, Alyssa, Huaring, Dragonov, Fang, Brian, Victor, Lily, Shaheen. There's a lot of characters, all right? I actually got to watch this tournament. I was sick at home. I was just, bedridden. I'm still sick, but, you got to do stuff sometimes, even though you're sick, all right? Um, and the main takeaway, when we're looking through this, I just wanted to quickly go through them. Claudio got buffed. I think he's good. I feel like he's a solid character. With the new buffs, I feel like he gets more damage on his combos, which really helps him get to the wall and be annoying, because they gave him a second, I don't know what it's called, like a little Taki's fucking spin in the air. Whatever that's called. Then we have Alyssa. Well, pretty much Claudio got that new thing, so it allows him to extend his combos further, better wall carry, in my opinion, which then leads to higher damage. And now you're waking up at the wall against Claudio is really fucked up. And I feel like he's good. Definitely a character that if you've invested a lot of time into, you should start to see the fruits of your labor, right? I don't see the character being trash or anything. Alyssa, another character I feel went under the radar this last patch. She didn't get nerfed at all. Super good, easy poking, all of that. But a lot of people say she's easy. I struggle with her personally, all right? So I just say she's easy, but when I play her, I struggle with the character. So maybe it's because I don't do optimal combos or use her chainsaws or whatever, right? Huaring, another character, I've always said he's really good in tournament. He's a great tournament character, first to twos, and I kind of feel like that's kind of the reason why they nerfed him. But then at the same time, when you look at his why they nerfed him, they say he wasn't performing well on online either. So I feel like a lot of that has to do with the fact that Huaring players can't break throws or something. I don't know. I just feel like Huaring players fundamentally aren't that good, because especially if they only main Huaring, fundamentally they're just not that solid of a player, and I feel like it brings down the online win percent down. But I felt like it would go up in Tekken 8, considering that we're only playing first to twos now. In Tekken 8, or in Tekken 7, I should say, we got to play death matches, so you were kind of able to eventually download the Huaring player that you were playing against. But in Tekken 8, you can't really do that. You only get 2 games, and in tournament, you only get 2 games. And if you're not able to like really get it down in 2 games, you just lose, right? And I feel like that plays into Huaring's, like play style more than other characters, right? So Dragonov, he's really easy steamroll character. I think the heat engager 1-2-1 is really cheap. They just throw it out even if they're in heat. 1-2-1 interrupt, or like even if you block it, they could heat dash +5. The character is annoying to play against. Down 2 is like pretty much homing. Even though it's -1, the fact that it's pretty much homing makes it pretty good. And then they have all these options and stuff. I made a video talking about like what Dragunov players do to counter the counter, and stuff like that, right? Fang character where poking character, same thing as Dragunov in my opinion. Very safe, easy character, stuff like that, right? It makes the character really good. Brian, and his small tech is really good. Brian, another thing, he also has like a heat engager, kind of like what's his name? Dragunov, but you could duck the last hit of Brian's. I talked about this in a match analysis video for uh, Brian, or for Knee, right? He was playing Brian, but I think Bilal is probably the best Brian player in the world. I've always felt this way, especially from Tekken 7 to now. I think he's the best Brian player in the world, the most dedicated, most committed Brian player. If you should check out his YouTube channel, because especially if you're like a Brian player. Then we have Victor. Still seeing play. He got nerfed. I feel like he's really tricky. A lot of professional players still haven't fully grasped the matchup, which kind of, if you're going to play in a tournament where you're going to see a lot of professional players, you kind of want to throw out characters where you're like, how do you really know this matchup? And him being new to Tekken 8 kind of helps in that aspect, but still a good character. The stance transition is really annoying to deal with. I still struggle against the character, especially playing against really high level Victor players, but like low Victor players, you pretty much, all you do is like get a life lead, backdash, and like, oh, okay, let's see what this guy's gonna do, and then try countering them before they get in on you, right? Lily, a character, I don't know, I've been struggling against this character. I feel like she's very oppressive as well, with the submissive heal, and she gets like quick plus frames, and you just have to sit there and be like, okay, I have to take this mix up. The feisty rabbit is pretty annoying as well. And her movement, another thing that a lot of Lily players aren't talking about, because her movement is super good. I used to use throws to track her, I was like, oh, you're gonna move, like, oh, you're probably gonna sidestep here. I'm gonna use this to track you, especially if you play a character with like bad homing moves. It's pretty tough to just lock her down. And now with the nerf to throws, I feel like that kind of helps her. But she, you can argue, wasn't really in top 8. This was a character that was selected by a player. Same thing, was it Victor? I don't know, but pretty much somebody switched to her, didn't do well, and then they switched to another character. These 3 characters were played in the same set, essentially. Her, Shaheen, and Law. Shaheen, another character, we've seen success with the character. I feel like slide mix-up characters are really annoying to deal with. Even if you're a professional player, you're not going to guess right all the time. And in this game, the slide mix-ups, especially now that you can't low parry into a bound or tailspin or whatever, right? It makes them a little bit better as well. And also, when you float them, they also get recoverable health. So yeah, their slides are pretty annoying. Law, another character, I feel 10 frame, 111. Heat engager. I don't like the 10 frame heat engagers. I feel like they're pretty close to. It's similar to a aggressive Magic 4. And it's also one of the things that I dislike about the high armored heat engagers, because they also feel like a Magic 4 to me on defense, though, right? Where it's like, oh, just armor through it, heat, get the heat engage, heal. Like, I feel like they get too much, and that's something that Shaheen has, Victor has, Feng has. Like, this is one of those things. Like, you have to look at the top 8 characters and look at what they have in common and start to really pinpoint what you feel is part of the meta, right? And Zafina, I don't know. I feel iffy about her. I don't see her enough online to really play against or like have an opinion on the character. Maybe I should make a Zafina friend or something, right? But overall, Zafina, I don't know. We see her in tournament. I feel like it's one of those, like, do you know the matchup? If you don't, I could probably skunk you. But I feel like professional players, especially if they're players who've played from 7 to now, should know the matchup well enough to do well against the character, right? So Leo, a character very unpopular. Dojin was playing him, or Leo, and the character, I don't see it at all. I think I need to learn this character. Of all these characters, I think Claudio, Huang for sure, and Zafina, Leo, probably the characters, and Shaheen, right? Characters that I need to learn the most. And Kazuya was the big surprise of the tournament, and it was the Cinderella story of the whole tournament, because I feel like Kazuya, compared to a lot of the characters on this list, is a lot harder than the characters that we're reading here, right? And I know Brian players eat a dick. I think he's easier than Kazuya, okay? I still think Brian's the day. You know what? I'll just edit in that one Tekken 7 round, and we'll call it a day. All right.
Emily now using her home field advantage.
Okay.
4, 5.
Oh my God! The mind games.
Kazuya, I feel like he's a character that he's off meta, right? I don't think he's a great tournament character because there's a lot of execution tied to the character. There's you have to be able to do electrics on command. His combos are pretty hard. He's a lot more difficult than other characters. He doesn't have a lot of crushing in his kit. But when you look at him on paper, he's not a trash character. And then on top of that, him having that wall standing 1-2, although Kazuya players love to complain, oh, it's inconsistent. Who cares? You still have one, all right? Well, Kazuya is a character that, with that wall standing 1-2, he could kind of really change the momentum of the match, especially for characters like Dragunov. If he blocks that down 2, you're launched. Quarter circle back 3, low hatchet, you're launched. Does Feng really have anything that's 13 low? I think the low palm strike out of the stance and they put it in back turn can launch him. And also Kazuya's while standing 2, that devil hook fist, I think that's what it's called, does a lot of damage. That combo does a grip, all right? And I feel like that plays into his hand, especially if he blocks like a down back 3+4 or a sweep attempt from Fang. And I know there's probably other characters that have -13 lows here, and Kazuya could probably launch them, but I just don't really know. And so yeah, I feel like Kazuya is one of those characters where he might be good in certain matchups, especially I don't want to say especially Dragunov, but like I feel like that wall standing 1-2 is enough to kind of keep him like floating on his back during a bad storm or something, right? That is playing against Dragunov. And so like yeah, I feel like he's flying under the radar. They also made that plus frame move, which allows him to really get pressure, and it does chip. And when you do chip and you have recoverable health, you get health back. And I feel like Kazuya also, he has a really good way of like, yeah, as soon as I get my pressure going, I get to like chip you down and get my health back, even if you did like that recoverable stuff. And 50-50 characters, I feel, are always good in fighting games, because if you guess wrong, well, you guessed wrong, And so yeah, Kazuya did well in this tournament. I feel like he's an off meta pick. I think you could throw him in there with Leroy, who has a parry that parries everything, which really helps with characters that have like really plus frame moves, or who like to mash on moves that are like annoying, right? So I feel like Leroy is also a character that's an off meta pick. He's still good. Although we didn't see him, I feel like he's one of those secret top tiers, right? Where it's like you could pick him because he has something that will help you in a matchup, right? And so this is the top 8. Let me go ahead and get this set up so we can watch it. Okay, so like I wanted to say, if you guys haven't watched this, go watch it. I'm gonna spoil it, of course, right? But Kisuke, incredible, was playing cracked the whole freaking tournament. He was playing cracked. He was the Cinderella story. I feel like, a thief won, but I feel like he stole the show of that day, right? And
this matchup here going to be probably the Kazuya versus the Dragunov. Game number
Kazuya versus Dragunov. Like I said, that down 2, you could launch it while sending 1-2. So we'll see if we see one of those in this game. I'm not sure if we do see one, but another thing, stature kick, really good. Really good. High level players aren't going to be able to react to it, but really good. Solid move, easy to get pressure with it. Yeah. Steamroller around by Dragunov there, and that's just common, right? One thing about Dragunov is that when you're having a bad game against him, it's very tough to feel like I don't know, like to not get anxious and feel bad about yourself. But you just got to remember, like, hey, just play solid. It's not impossible to win against this character, despite it feeling that way sometimes. That's the mid that I was talking about. It is plus. But you see, here we go. This is what I was talking about. This is such a good check, bro. So annoying. I don't like this, bro. I don't like it, dude. Personally. Good break there. That mid is really annoying to deal with as well. And the fact that it hits grounded, you can't really stay grounded in a lot of situations. That's a perfect example. Wow, he got it. I've already seen this, but
Yo, kick it over. Get it away from me. Get it away from me. Oh, that was electric for sure.
Yeah, that down back 4 is really good. Stature kick, right? So one thing that you gotta keep in mind on those down 2s is your opponent sidestepping. So. Like I said, like this is just super frustrating to play against. Me personally, I thought this was gonna be a blow up. And it was actually a really good set. It's sad the way this set ends, though. All right, I was watching it with because I was watching a restream. Is it a restream? Where they're watching it alongside. I was watching it with Sajam. I was watching Sajam's stream for the grand finals of Street Fighter 6, and I was like, oh, I'll just leave it on for the Tekken one, right? And I like the reaction that he had for his grand finals. That last round that we're gonna watch here is like super super depressing, bro. Like we were all hype, and the way it ends is just so sad. Yeah, another thing, look at that, dude. Look at the movement. Dude's cracked. 14 frame counter hit, mid homing move. That's pretty good, I feel like at this point, just make it safe, Let's just watch the world burn at this point. Like, really well played by Atif, you know?
Not looking for the low there. One round.
And Atif's movement is really good, and Dragunov also has really good movement as a character. And I feel like a lot of players don't.
You're going back to the wall. Timeout.
Wow.
Wow. Yo, K-Skate's so fun to watch. Sidestep using the third dimension.
I hope somebody like really sponsors him. Like, he gets more sponsors, he's able to travel out more to tournaments. Good break there.
He loves using that low to close out.
It's a solid low, good range.
A little tricky on the speed. Engage. Hell sweep. The hello sweep.
And just a little delay on it too, right? Makes it a little bit less predictable.
Especially when the way he's mixing up the
You know, look at those wall running twos.
Mix up the timing on his wave dash, sometimes fast, sometimes slow, sometimes instant, just like that.
I feel like maybe at least for Tekken, I hope that in the later seasons in the game, they kind of revert some of the stuff that they made, like making wall running moves hard again. I feel like it's healthy for the game, especially for players who've played for so long. It's like, you guys should be able to do instant wall running twos, no problem at this point. Especially if we're like in season 4 or season 3, right? And I think that's the correct way you should balance a fighting game, is make stuff a little bit hard. Another thing, coaching in Street Fighter 6, not that common, you know? And I would love to see less coaching, low-key. I'm not gonna lie. In Tekken tournaments, but you know, like, there's a lot of frame data and stuff that players don't know or are probably unaware of. And I feel that, look at that sidestep, electric. This is what I was talking about. He was so cracked. He was locked in. Chip. Nice. Well, okay.
I thought we were going to see another low
If
finish.
she did again, dude.
I literally thought we were going to see another
You
one.
gotta pace yourself, you know? Settle down.
Dog. It's like my man chooses violence with the electrics.
Yo, but Octave ain't done yet.
Like, he's not scared of throwing out that down forward too.
Look at the block of the hell sweep.
And this is what it gets you. Oh. Nobody likes
That's
that.
his problem. Step on the electric, late on the punish.
Wow. Crush the jab, the dick jab.
Thunder God must hold this.
Running two. The down two.
Oh boy. Yeah, this stage definitely good for Octave. The wall pressure with the Dragon has been so effective for him. The Hell's gonna trade, picking up for the combo.
Wow.
Can't do that anymore. I thought you couldn't do that anymore.
He burst. Oh boy, it's enough. Yes, it is. Case
That's plus frames too. That's pretty cheap.
Oh my jeez. This music just makes it more intense. It's so crazy.
It's the
Round
arena.
two. This is going crazy, bro.
The wave moves.
Oh, the wave moves.
Into the Hell sweep. Oh boy.
Yo, stay back. I thought that was going to be an electric. Oh,
Yeah, like,
Oh my God, he tried. Oh, he got the combo with the back. While that
inconsistent combos by Kazuya.
connected.
oh. Sidestep the down two again.
Oh,
and
boy,
acts
he's in
against
trouble.
the heat dash. I like the realignment. Didn't get the kill, though.
Like, what do you guys opt out for? I usually go for the easier combos. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not somebody who plays often. You know, like and subscribe. Hopefully we can, right? But I don't play often, so I don't really have the execution to play my characters or like to do tough combos, right? So because I can't practice them every day. But because of that, I opt out for easier combos. And I know a lot of people, I have friends who opt out for the harder combos. But I just feel like just land the combo. Let's focus on. Oh my God. And this is the situation. This is how this tournament ends right there. This is the needle. Unfortunate. And that's even with the buff, right? On the down forward one. It's the new buff on the down forward one. Just it wasn't enough. And this, I thought, oh my god, I was already like jumping out my seat, thinking that the tournament reset, right? I was hype. And then he wins the round. I kind of felt there like, that's the all the air is out the balloon now. Like we're no longer cooking with gas. That is 0, so Rax and GG's, you know. But yeah, overall, Atif played great. I hate that he's playing Dragunov. I would rather that he play Jin, but hey, like I said, tournament characters are easy and good. That's what they are, easy and good. Those are good tournament characters, and yeah, unfortunate that Kisuke didn't win, but the tournament was hype. I loved his run, and we got to see Kazuya, and it's really starting to shift my opinion on the character. I feel like he's a off-meta pick, but he's still good enough to compete, or he has a reason why you would play him, right? And maybe something that you should have in your back pocket, you know? You want to play Brian? Kazuya, bitch, I'm gonna block that low hatchet kick. I'm gonna launch you for it, or I'm gonna block that down too. We didn't see that, right? And then I'm gonna launch you for it. But you know, unfortunate that Kisuke didn't win the tournament, but you know, it was fun to see him go through the bracket. You know, he played a lot of good players as well, and to see Kazuya is a breath of fresh air. And overall, tournament was great. I enjoyed it. There was other good matches. Sadly, there were some matches that weren't on stream. FDX he fought some good players off stream. Chikarin lost off stream. Yeah, like there was a lot of players that you thought would make it deeper into the tournament, but they didn't. And it was cool, you know. I enjoyed the tournament. We'll see what's next in terms of the TWT. I need to end this video. I need to start cooking for my lunch tomorrow. So, you know, like and subscribe, all that shit. You know, content. I'm trying to make it weekly. I've been fucking up though. I made videos and then I was editing them and then I was like, this video sucks. Low key, why am I gonna post this? I got like, what is it called? Perfectionism, or not even perfectionist. It's just I just don't think like it was quality enough for me to really post it. Although you could argue this video is not quality enough, but it is a trending topic. I was like, just post it. It's a trending topic. CEO, right? If there's anything else that you guys would like to watch, or guides on something, you know, let me know. I'll gladly make those videos for you guys. So yeah, like and subscribe.